Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I welcome you all to this early Thursday morning broadcast. Please, my dear people, I don't want to take much of our time. I will first of all read out the headlines before I interfere on some matters, which most of my loyalists have been calling me to say something about it. But I will say, I don't want to take much time on doing that, but before then you need to know the headlines we have today so that it will trigger you to watch the video from beginning to the end. Breaking news: Charlie Boy makes revelations about Mazi Simon Ekpa, links him to APC, that this guy is working for APC, yet our fellow Igbo brothers, they don't know what is happening. You will find out when we go deep into the news of this day that this man is not what people think he is. Another breaking news: court, they don't remind the Igbo leader, Ezendi Bonajao Estate, who threatened to bring IPOB to Lagos for 30 days in their custody. As we are moving forward, though, with the talk say, na nkịta bụ nshi n'ọkpa ya were ọnụ gịnị wee kuru ya ekuru, abịa ọkụkọ bụ nshi n'ọkpa were ọnụ wee tụrụ ya, according to the Igbo adage. We dey here, we never even recover from what is happening in Lagos State on Igbo brothers. Now, the so-called Minister of Culture and Tourism will be Lai Mohammed. They don't come out to begin to indict some Western countries, say they are not doing right to be harboring IPOB, despite its organization status, its terrorist organization status. Here the breaking news: some Western countries harboring IPOB despite its terrorist organization status. Lai Mohammed, who pronounced IPOB as terrorist group, is it not the same President Muhammadu Buhari led government? They are the ones now. The IEP have do their own and say, oh, IPOB is the worst, 10th worst terrorist group in the wide world. When they are being corrected, they still came back and made do what? And make corrections, because they do things and they pronounce things with facts, empirical facts. You tell me that federal government, it takes them over 5 good years to prescribe the ISWAP and Boko Haram terrorists in our land, destroying our farmlands, destroying our economy. It takes him 5 years. But just within 2015, he prescribed IPOB as a terrorist organization. And you are blaming the international. You think they don't have law like Nigeria? Or you think like they are lawless? You think like they are tribalistic like the so-called government of Nigeria? Yeah, you are blaming them that why are they harboring an IPOB? No, you should go there and take all of them out from the country. Nonsense. Breaking news: Peter Obi and Dati, you are guilty of treason. Afenifere digs into Lai Mohammed's past. We are going to see the past of Lai Mohammed. It don't happen again, for you to see that a lot of people are behind P2B, NNPP as well. Don't come, they don't know federal government over treason allegations against Mr. Gregory Peter Obi. More trouble for the Igbo leader who threatened to invite IPOB as police refused bail. All the cabinet will be the running government with all of them. Don't be on the run as it is to be. So my good people, and I don't hear as you think they be now. We are going to take some time to at least analyze some certain things before we can proceed with the main news that I have just gave you the headlines. One of them is the purported or alleged voice conversation leaked by P2B and by Bishop David Oyedepo. So, and as the case may be, P2B have already come out and do what? And discarded that rumor and said that is not his voice, even if that is his voice, but that voice was doctored, because even I myself, I take time to listen to that voice very, very well, and I found out that is a doctored voice. And who is doing all these things? APC government are doing anything humanly possible to discharge and to take power by fire by force. After 8 years of insecurity, after 8 years of high inflation, after 8 years I mean everything they have promised the country, none of them was achieved. Insecurity grows high, inflation grows high, debt times 3 of what they made it 2015, and many more, creating 100 million jobs for the youths. They end up setting Nigeria higher above almost all the whole countries in the world, having 63% of unemployed, mostly the youths, who are supposed to be either productive age. Now, all you can do now is come out now to be profiling P2B, that he made an hatred sentiment before the election, not even after the election, and there's no anywhere in his statement, even if that one is his voice, there's no anywhere in his statement he is calling for interim government or whatever. Yet this same government who made a statement in 2015 that if the election is not being conducted the way it ought to be, that is, if the election result does not fall on their own side, that dogs and baboons will soak in blood. And we keep on asking these questions since we had that very statement since 2015 till now, that is 8 years ago. Who are those dogs and who are the baboons? Is that statement not worse than what P2B is discussing in his own private life, a private line, not even coming to the general public or at the pulpit in the church as he used to campaign to say such a thing? Nigeria, which way forward? The worst thing that Nigeria government will do is to try to arrest P2B. The worst thing they can do in this life is to try to arrest him, unless they don't want the peace in this country again. Whether this government or whether the incoming government, the worst thing they can do is to think of arresting P2B. I repeat myself, that is the worst thing that can ever happen in this country. It is not a threat. I'm not inciting anybody, but that is the obvious. Because P2B have not done anything. He have every right to express himself the any way he wanted. He is the one that keep on telling the obedience, please you people to calm down, this matter is in court. So tell me in which way that P2B have incited violence in the country? In which way Ahmed Dati have incited violence in this country? He went to Channel Television and aired his view that swearing in this president-select will end democracy in Nigeria, because democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and with the people. And the people whom you claim that have voted you in said, they never vote you in. Then who voted for you? Even him himself, the president-select, on his victory message, he said, I know many of you did not vote for me. Then who voted for you? Is it the dogs and the cats in your house that voted for you to give you the victory? I know that more of you think or assuming that it's your presidential candidate is here, but that is not there. And even on that self, it still calls some people gorilla. Have you seen it? Have you seen the kind of people, somebody that you people want to bring in to rule the nation? It is not going to work now, unless you people just want this country to die completely. No problem. If they want the country to vanish, as simple as that, put it for sale. You have Chinese, you have the Europeans, you have the Westerners that will come for it and buy it off, and we will become a tenant in our own country. That is exactly what these people want. What you people have not done in this country. Somebody take over Lagos State for good last 23 good years, taking 50% of whatever generated revenue, whether from federal inland revenue or internally generated revenue, into his own personal pocket. Still yet, he is not yet enough. Even the Lagosians now are crying that somebody who is not a Lagosian have come and take over the affairs of Lagos State. Anyway, my dear people, I don't want to talk much. But I already talk much, but I don't want to talk much. I don't want to proceed much. So let us face the real business of this day. Please, if you are never subscribed to my channel and you are watching me, or this is your first time of hearing this voice and you are wondering who, I am Okute Daily Talk, where we will speak to you the undiluted truth about the things of life, about the Biafran struggle, about the Nigerian government. We also bring to you the news from Obodo Oyibo, that is international news, according to people who don't understand that Obodo Oyibo. So that's all the thing. Take me, please subscribe to my channel, share any of my content, and make sure you do what you like, comment, so that YouTube will also recommend my video to other ones out there who truly want to hear the truth and nothing but the truth. Charlie Boy makes revelations about Simon Ekpa, links him to APC. Let us see what happens. The Nigerian singer Charles Oputa, aka Charlie Boy, on Wednesday claimed that Simon Ekpa The self-proclaimed disciple of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, is working with All Progressive Congress, APC. Charlie Boy said that Ekpa is being utilized to destabilize the Southeast and that he works for the APC in a post published on his verified Twitter account on Wednesday. He added that the Nigerian living in Finland competed for Lagos State in athletic competition. He wrote, "Do you know the radical Simon Ekpa, where they lead a fraction of IPOB? Do you know he has very strong connection with APC?" He might be right because period to the election, we heard that $1 million was paid to Simon Ekpa to destabilize the Southeast so that P2B will not win any election in there. Do you know that it was the late Deji Tinubu that sponsored Simon Ekpa's athletic career and sent him abroad? Do you know that Simon represented Lagos State? This na your 2 plus 2. Hey. Simon Ekpa worked for APC, used to destabilize the Southeast. What APC cannot do does not exist. Master planners and riggers of all times, he wrote, according to Charles Oputa, which is Charlie Boy. Ekpa had asked indigenous of Southeast Nigeria who are resident in Lagos to observe a sit-at-home exercise over an alleged attack on them. Of course, now, how can you say such a thing on no man's land? In a tweet, the Biafran activist said the sit-at-home exercise is targeted at crippling the economy of the Lagos state government. He said, "I have just watched another Igbo Biafra market in Lagos being burned down in Balogun, Lagos today, and I am very sad. Since after the election, Igbo Biafrans in Lagos and their businesses have been attacked, and like I have said earlier, we can't sit back and watch as the Biafrans in Lagos will be getting ready to return home with their businesses. To this end, we will activate sit at home for all Biafrans in Lagos," according to Charles Oputa. Charles Oputa have called out Simon Ekpa, claiming that this man is working for APC. We don't know who to believe, whether to believe him or not. But I have seen the response of Simon Ekpa in his verified Twitter account early this morning. But the fact still remains that Simon Ekpa is not working for the good of the Igbo people or the IPOB. That's the simple truth. Quote me wrong at the comment section and I will reply to you. Court reminds Igbo leader who threatened to bring IPOB to Lagos for 30 good days. An Igbo leader who threatened to bring the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to Lagos State, Frederick Nwajagu, has been remanded for 30 days by a magistrate court sitting in Yaba area of Lagos State. Nigeria News had earlier reported that the Nigerian Police Force, LPF, confirmed Nwajagu's arrest on the 1st of April after he made an insulting statement in a video. He called on Igbo indigenes in Lagos to appeal to members of the IPOB to defend their properties from looters. Meanwhile, following his arrest, Nwajagu was charged with conspiracy and breach of public peace. While MC Oluomo is out there working freely, and even after the election of the governorship election, he mandates every transporter to be paying 13,000 naira daily, which they protested. I don't know the outcome of that very news or that very case at this moment. He is working freely on the street. Who make a threat and it come to pass during the governorship and presidential election? Yet nobody feel it is right time to invite him for questioning or call him to order. Meanwhile, following his arrest, the chief magistrate Peter Nwaka, in his ruling, ordered that Nwajagu should be kept at the Ikoyi custodial facility for 30 days before adjourning the case until May 3. The state prosecutor, Thomas Nuruddin, told the court that Nwajagu and some others who are on the run committed the offense on the March 26th at number 2 Akim Shitu Street, Ajao Estate, Lagos. He said Nwajagu put fear in Lagos residents when he threatened to bring IPOB to the state to shut down the state for 1 month. Who said that? Nuruddin said the alleged offenses of Nwajagu contravene Section 168D and 411 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State. the simple truth still remains that Igbos do not belong to Nigeria. Let them start now to look for a black goat before it is night or before it is dark. Igbos, make una start now to look for what? For the black goat before it is dark. Some Western countries harboring IPOB despite its terrorist organization status, Lai Mohammed. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has accused some foreign countries of harboring and encouraging the activities of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra IPOB. The minister accused the countries of harboring IPOB despite its proscription as a terrorist organization by the federal government of Nigeria. He alleged that the group is allowed to raise funds in some countries while others allow them to lobby their congressmen and lawmakers. Mohammed stated this in Washington during an engagement with international media organizations and think tanks on the just concluded 2023 presidential polls. He said IPOB is a terrorist organization so declared by the Nigerian government, yet some Western countries harbor them and have been dealing with the illegal body. They allow them to raise funds, some allow them to lobby their congressmen and lawmakers, and whatever fund they realize, they use it to destabilize the country, the minister added. Mohammed further slammed the guilty nation, describing them as a failure, saying it is hypocritical for Western world to claim it is fighting terrorism yet turn around to be supporting a terrorist group like IPOB. According to the minister, the foreign media needs to stop jumping on any information they find about the group on social media, but should rather interrogate the information they got on social media before reporting them. Hear it? That's how the thing take be. So my people, we are proceeding. P2B and Dati, you are guilty of treason. Afenifre digs into Lai Mohammed's past. Let us see what this man have committed. And you are out there to claim that somebody is guilty or be charging that person for treasonable offense. The Pan-Yoruba social political group Afenifere has dug into the past comments by the incumbent Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. Nigeria report that Mohammed recently lampooned the presidential and the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the just concluded election, P2B, and his running mate, Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, criticizing them for rubbishing the outcome of the 2023 general elections. Recall that Obi and Dati, including candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, have challenged the emergence of Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress (APC) as the winner of the February 25th polls. The candidates of the Labour Party particularly disagreed with the swearing-in of Tinubu as the next Nigeria's next president, which is scheduled to hold on May 29 of 2023. Speaking during an interview earlier, Lai Mohammed berated the losers of the February 25th poll, saying that the just concluded general elections in Nigeria is the fairest, most transparent, and authentic in the history of Nigeria. He also described comments of members of the opposition as treason. Reacting to Mohammed's comment and the APC backlash on the opposition party chieftains, Afenifere Secretary General Chief Sola Ebiseni said, "It is ridiculous that the government that permissively watch leaders and the spokespersons of the ruling party and their talks openly execute their treasonable acts against the people and democratic process in flagrant disrespect for the constitution would expect the decent world to take it serious in its shameful sanctimonious preaching on allegation of treason." In sum, it is clear that the burden of democracy, where Nigeria, particularly the youth, have insisted that things be now done differently and rightly, is too weighty for this government and its agents. Nigerians understand that Ebiseni stated this in Akure, the Ondo State capital of Nigeria, April 4. Ebiseni knocked Mohammed, saying it was unfortunate that the Nigerian minister and other government officials unshamedly choose the United States of America, a wrong congregation according to him, for their anti-democratic sermons. While I don't finish you. He also lambasted the federal government for tainting facts about the credibility of the 2023 presidential election and treason allegation. Ebiseni said Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information, fails in his unenviable class with his current visit and interviews in the United States of America to tend to secret facts about the 2023 presidential elections. Whereas the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, in the galley of the whole world, had admitted the failures of the statutory prescribed components of the electoral process. Lai Mohammed firstly stated that the just concluded general election in Nigeria is the fairest, most transparent and authentic in the history of Nigeria, before an audience that knows the truth to the contrary and have so expressed in their editorials. Ebiseni said it is certainly not true, as Mohammed claimed, that under our laws today, management of election results is manual. The ruling of the court that INEC has the exclusive right to determine the mode of election, its collation and transmission, only compel the commissions to act in tandem with its electoral guidelines to that effect. The essence of the amending our electoral laws resulting in the Electoral Act of 2022 is the surgical removal of the mischief of managing our electoral processes by the pernicious manual procedures. In a clear case of abuse of office, Lai Mohammed, trying desperately to dance himself back to the mind of his party candidates, having taken a different course during the primaries, have mindlessly descended on the apps of a falsehood reminiscent of his modus operandi as a party spokesperson, with which he has odiously smeared the office of the nation's Minister of Information. Mohammed lied. After all, his name is by Lai Mohammed. According to the affiniferous scribe, the Minister of Information lied when he claimed that the president ensured that nobody used the security agencies to rig the election in his favor, but created level playing ground for the election. Ebiseni maintained that security agencies in many states not only work for the ruling party government and its security arms, worked in acquaintances and leaders of the armed thugs, boastfully treating citizens with mayhem, which they freely carried out as if we are in a state of nature. He said, rather than tout the loss of the home state of some of his party leaders in the opposition as proof of their fair election, Lai Mohammed should have been courageous enough to ascribe the feat to the vigilance of the people, and why they incur the wrath of organized and armed hired thugs in the elections. One wonders what is left for the court to decide after the crude analysis by Lai Mohammed of the performance of the candidates, the figures of which he effortlessly and shamelessly bacterized. He wrote that Obi and Atiku failed to meet the constitutional requirements to be declared president, according to Lai Mohammed. He crudely handed down judgment on the status of the Federal Capital Territory and lied against the Constitution when he said not only must a candidate have the plurality of votes, he must also have scored 1/4 of votes cast in at least 25 states. He cheekily awarded figures to the candidates with 8.79 million and 1/4 in 29 states to the APC, which is 6.9 million and 21 states to the PDP, and 5.8 million and 15 states to the Labour Party, which is contrary to the result declared by the INEC and even being hotly contested in court. Okay, he give his own analysis and his own result, right? Maybe they open their hands one after the other now. Lai Mohammed's disrespect for the cause before which those facts have been submitted for fair and independent adjudication is beyond the realm of contempt. It is treasonable because of his high office subjecting the cause to undue pressure of the opinion of the reasonable man, to whom separation of powers and independence of the judiciary have no meaning, having watched this government treat the judiciary, judgment and orders with unmitigated disdain. Mohammed guilty of treason. Hiram, digging into the past, the Ebiseni said Mohammed past comment is a clear case of study treasonable comment, according to Ebiseni. He said Talking about reasonable comments, Lai Mohammed may need to rewind his own past statement, particularly the interview he granted Sani Tukuru of Premium Times on April 27 of 2013, where he said democracy will fail in Nigeria unless APC wins in 2015. His principles did not fare better. Lai Mohammed, your own past have been digged. Let us see your response as we do what? As we proceed. NNPP is also citing P2B, North federal government over treason allegations against the Labour Party's presidential candidate P2B. The New Nigerian People's Party has disregard with the federal government over the treason allegation leveled against the Labour Party in the just concluded election. P2B, Nigerian News reported that the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, had warned the Labour Party flag bearer against inciting Nigerians to violence over the outcome of the presidential election. In an interview with some foreign media organizations in Washington, United States on Tuesday, Mohammed said it is wrong for Obi to seek redress in court over the outcome of the presidential election and, on the other hand, incite people to violence. Who Obi incited is what I never see. The minister said the statement by Obi's running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, that the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu should not be sworn in as president amounted to treason. In a chat with The Punch on Tuesday, NNPP spokesperson Major Abu said Obi had a right to freedom of expression and, to the best of his knowledge, the Labour Party candidate did not committed any treasonable offence. Abu said people shouldn't be scared of expressing themselves at a time in a democratic government, stressing that freedom of speech is still one of the fundamental human rights of any citizen. He, however, challenged the federal government to charge Obi to court if they had sufficient evidence to support the treason allegation leveled against him. As simple as that. Abu said, we are in a democracy. P2B has the right to say whatever he wants to say, even if what he said is wrong. Is that sufficient to call it treason and call for his arrest? That is, all this thing is by Lai Mohammed, FFK, Bayo Nonoga, and the son, the fake son, will be Festus Kiyamo, is sitting what they call it, sitting Minister of Labor, Minister of State Labor and Cultures, campaigning for APC. Is that not an offense? It's a treasonable offense from my own constitution. So how can every time when I go come to threaten us with treasonable felony, treasonable offense? Who treasonable offense to help? I just want to rig the whole thing, put fear in people's body, and then shaking Obi. Obi is not somebody you can just shake with all this kind of thing. He read law and read it to the uttermost, and he have the best sense whatsoever to rally around with this case. So you people should stop threatening Obi. You get the point now. So my good people, be like saying here we go take stop. I be maybe we'll give one other news again. Be like say we go give one other news so that people go understand. Because this news as we dey go, and so the thing go just dey pump out. As they proceed, the thing go just dey pump out. As they proceed, the thing just dey pump out. So, but we cannot do anything other than giving my people what they need to know. Okay, the last year but not the least, Ohaneze makes 4 demands from Tinubu, the full list. Ohaneze Ndori, I hear now. The Ohaneze Ndibo on Wednesday tabled 4 demands before the president-elect Bola Tinubu ahead of his inauguration on the 29th of May of 2023. The Secretary General of Ohaneze Ndibo, Okechukwu Isiguzoro, called on Tinubu to release the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. That is number 1. Isiguzoro, in a chat with Daily Post, said releasing Kanu will restore peace and security in the southeast. The question there is, do you think they want the peace and security in the southeast? The answer is no, they don't want it. They like as everywhere is running head, everybody's running head. Speaking on Ohaneze's demand, he said, Tinubu is a progressive. He is a strategist. Tinubu's government would not be like Buhari's government, according to Isiguzoro. The only problem Tinubu has is age on his side. And most of the people who made Buhari not to succeed are queuing behind him because of some of the challenges he is having following the 2023 presidential elections. Tinubu must pacify the Southeast with the 4 charter of demands for the region to accept him as president of Nigeria and for Ndi Igbos to stand tall and defend his mandate. The first is that Tinubu must unconditionally restore peace and security by releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whether he would grant him a presidential pardon from the Eagle Square during his acceptance speech or use the power of presidency to get him released to restore peace and security in the Southeast. Secondly, Tinubu must start the healing process by ensuring that he balances the Muslim ticket by giving a Christian from the Southeast the president of the Senate. Whoever will be the Senate president must not be ranking senators who don't have the character to protect the interests of the country. We are calling on the Senate to amend their rules and allow first-timers because those who are ranking senators have dubious characters and can't represent the interests of Ndi Igbos. Thirdly, Tinubu must put political structures on the ground to ensure that Ndi Igbo feels the promise that Buhari made to us secretly that he would ensure the region gets a 6th state. And Eze already has a plan for it. The president-elect must ensure that all the economic gateways across the country, including the reopening of the Calabar Wharf, dredging of the Azumiri River, granting IPOB members amnesty and compensating families killed over the years. So this is the demands from the IPOB, according to Isi Guzoro, the Secretary General to Hannes Ndigbo. So my good people, here we will take stop. I don't want to go much further because I still have other news to bring to us this very day, being Thursday, the 6th day of April in the year of 2023. So whichever way it is, we have to give Almighty Chukwu Kabiama onye pụrụ ime ihe niile the what? The praise, because it made it possible for we to see the light of this day. In case you are watching from afar and you are not subscribed, please hit the subscription button. It is free of charge. You are not going to pay any money. If you don't know how to do it, ask your neighbor. Your neighbor will ask another neighbor, and will ask another neighbor, and how the thing keep asking you until you get to the place where they will tell you click here or click here. Make sure you turn on the notification button so that you will get the whole updates of anything concerning this channel when we share videos or when we go live on this very platform. So my people, now here I go take do what, carry my kaya, and I go so here, and I saw it take view. In fact, I welcome the newcomers. You are welcome in the name of the Lord. You are highly welcome to my platform. This is Okute Daily Talk, where we speak to you the undiluted truth and nothing but the truth. This Obonga channel is where we don't propaganda and we don't give fake news. We always hit the nail on the head. Have a nice day. May the Almighty Chukwu Kabiama bless us, the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and those shall it be. Have a nice day, my people. I am signing out. Bye for now. Kemesiano.